Today, we're going to talk about Amos. And we're going to specifically talk about Amos chapter 1, verses 1 through 2. Okay. Amos was a herdsman and a prophet. He lived in Israel during a time when it was ran by kings. Now, Amos was a herdsman in Tekoa, in which it basically in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's no movie theater. There's nothing there. I mean, it's literally, yeah. You'll find a bunch of herdsmen or people who keep livestock. Okay, and so Tekoa is very close to Judah. Okay, now Amos, one day he's sitting there doing his job when he hears a call from God, and God asks Amos to quit his job. In fact, he doesn't ask him, he instructs Amos to quit his job and do his father's business. Now, Amos, being the obedient person that he is, obeys him. So the Spirit of God fell up on Amos, and he now becomes a prophet. So Amos is instructed to quit his job as a herdsman and go and prophesy to the people in the northern kingdom of Israel. Now, Amos was making a pretty good wage where he could live comfortably as a herdsman. I mean, he was doing fine. But for those of you guys who don't understand what a herdsman was, a herdsman, first of all, is similar to a farmer. They take care of livestock. Or for those of you guys who don't know, livestock is animals, okay? And that's what they do. They care for the animals. Now, this job is similar to a fisherman, or how we know today as a custodian or a person who works at McDonald's. And here, God chooses him with this honor to serve him. So Amos leaves his job, he quits it, and he heads to the northern kingdom of Israel. And so he starts to prophesy to the 10 tribes of Israel. So he first goes and tells them about an earthquake. So let's read Amos chapter 1, verse 1 through 2. And it says, "The words of Amos, who was among the herdmen of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, 2 years before the earthquake. And he said, The Lord will roar from Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the habitations of the shepherds shall mourn, and the top of Carmel shall wither." So God has grown so upset. And why is God upset? Well, the Israelites have forgotten just how blessed they are and what God has brought them through. They have been rebellious to him to the point that they don't even acknowledge him. They know he's there. They know he exists. But how many of us who, or I should say, how many people do you see out there in the world? They know there's a God. They know he exists. But they don't acknowledge him. They don't even give him honor. They're just like, whatever. And this is how the Israelites were behaving. And so Amos tells them there's going to be a big earthquake that's going to come. And the reason why this earthquake is going to come is because you have been so rebellious and disobedient to God that he's going to punish you. And this earthquake is going to be so huge that literally it's going to move the land. Literally, you will feel it in the temple of Mount Zion. So literally, can you imagine somebody's going to be sitting in church like, uh-oh, God is trying to tell you something. And of course, God doesn't want to carry out this judgment. And so he sends Amos to warn you. But he knows they're hard-headed. They don't listen. And he's going to have to end up carrying out this earthquake. So Amos then tells them about a great drought. Now, let me explain to you something. When you are a herdsman or a farmer or a shepherd, the last thing you want to occur is a drought. Your livelihood is based upon the water that gives you the good soil or allows you to take care of your livestock. And so what happens is, if there's a drought, that means anything that you have planted in the soil, whether it be fruit, produce, crop, any type of crops, it is going to be destroyed. On top of that, you can't plant anything new because it won't grow. The drought makes the soil bad. So what you plant will not survive, or it just won't grow. So what happens is, when God sends out this drought, what's going to happen is it's going to put a hole in their finances. Because that means that these farmers who were going to feed these animals well, where they would get top-notch dollars, they can't do their job as well or not at all. Basically, this drought can put a lot of people out of business. And instead of living good in the neighborhood, you're sitting there in the unemployment line. You know, this job or this wealth that they're accustomed to, it's not going to be there. And if they didn't budget right, well, I guess you'd be asking your neighbor, can you borrow some sugar? Now, how many people out there living in the world, you got all this money, you up here buying some new stilettos or the new Jordans or whatever the new shoes are. You got your diamonds in your ear, and you planning on paying your rent with the next check because you need to get these new gear that just came out, or this Coach bag or whatever you like to spend your money on. And of course, you're not thinking about tomorrow. You're not planning for next year. You're not even thanking God for the money that you have in your pockets to even be able to spend on what you have. And so some people are going through life living like these Israelites, not thanking God, not even honoring God for what they have, and acting like they gonna be all right by themselves. And so just like Amos, went and sent the Israelites warning, God sends people to you, or God is letting you know this ain't going to be forever. This is not going to be forever if you keep with that attitude. And so the Israelites, those who they depend on this water of the land, they're freaking out. They're like, oh my gosh, oh my God, no, 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 no. Because they don't want this to happen. They understand, yes, I have not honored God in the way I should. Yes, I understand I've been out there in the world. Yes, I understand that I haven't given honor to God, and I've been doing my own thing. And they really don't want this punishment because they understand when they upset their daddy, how he punishes them. I know I don't want to upset my daddy. So you can imagine if you guys have a dad, what your dad would do. You don't want to upset God because he will give you a punishment 10 times worse than your father. So nope, 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 nope. They don't want to feel God's punishment. But God knows that they're hard-headed. And we all know that God only chastises who he loves. And so for that reason, we'll continue on to verse 3 another day. God bless you. Have a nice day.